All right, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Intro song in 3, 2, 1. Get this right. She got it right. She got the handshake. Welcome back to episode 3 of our podcast. We still do. We're gonna go double applause on that one because we got new mic stands, as you guys can see. So
yeah, had to upgrade it.
And with that being said, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about beliefs. Having the same beliefs, the same faith system in your marriage. So, do you want to kick that off?
Do you have the same beliefs in your marriage with your spouse? This is a tough one right here. And I say that because we were in this situation.
We were?
Yes, when we first got together, you were in the church and I was not. I was out in the streets.
Yeah.
My family was in the church.
Yeah.
But I strayed away from it. I was out in the streets doing what I wanted to do. And when we met, you were in the church. And you know, it was either me start going to church or you start hanging out with me on the streets.
I'm not on the streets, but...
Well, not on the streets, but, you know, hanging out. Not going to church.
Right.
I wasn't going to church.
Right. Okay. Well, talk about it.
So I feel like it's very important to have the same beliefs as your spouse because there's no way that you guys can exist together. Like, you guys can't have a strong foundation or a strong relationship if you guys don't carry the same beliefs. Because, like I said, that's how we were. So imagine if I was stubborn and I was like, I'm not really worried about going to church. Like, that's not something that I'm interested in. Yeah. But you were sold out for Jesus like you were. And you were like, well, let's compromise. How? There's no compromise. It's either you, like the Bible says, either you're hot or you're cold.
Right.
There's no lukewarm. It's either you're hot or you're cold. So right. I was cold, you were hot.
Yeah. But you know what? I feel like back then, like when we were dating, I was kind of like lukewarmish. Like I was young still. You know what I mean? Like when we were dating, I was like 19. Mm-hmm. 19, turning 20-ish. And yeah, I'm a PK, I'm a pastor's kid, so I grew up in the church. But I feel like at that point in my life, I was kind of like in a little bit of a rebellious stage. So I feel like I wasn't really like hot. You know what I mean? But I wasn't cold. I was still going to church every Sunday.
Right.
And I think that's what kind of like drew you in, you know, to start coming to church and stuff like that. But
even though you were lukewarm, like you said, you were going every Sunday.
Yeah, I was.
Now, if you weren't going every Sunday, then maybe it would have been easier for you to not go as even more. Even if you were going once a month, you could have ended up not going at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've been doing something totally different on Sundays.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I really think it's important to have the same beliefs because, I mean, I just don't see how it could happen to where you guys can be happily in a relationship and you guys are on two different sides of the track.
So
and it doesn't even have to.
What made you so? You starting to like come to church and
it's because I really loved you and I really wanted to be with you. Like I feel like if you really want to be with that person, and another example is with me smoking and drinking. I just literally just gave it up. Like people act like they got to go to rehab to stop smoking weed or to stop drinking and stuff.
And some people
may have to, but it's not a thing to where it's like I just can't leave it alone. Cause I was doing it for a long time.
Yeah, you were.
Every day.
Yeah, you are.
And just stopped. I just stopped. And it was just like, and then when you just stop, you're gonna have those trials, and you're gonna have those obstacles where people are like, hey, you know what I'm saying, you want to, and you're like, nah, are you gonna give into that temptation?
Because I think that we did, I do remember we did have that talk, and I was like, okay, like, you need to be better, like, with your life and your choices and I wasn't like, okay, you need to be a Christian because I'm a Christian, because at the time we weren't even married, we were just dating. But I was just like trying to encourage you, like, okay, if we are really like going to be exclusively dating and this is like long term, then you need to make better choices. Like, you can't sit around at home all day and just smoke and drink your life away, pretty much, is what I told you. And I think that it's at that point where you kind of made a decision, like, okay, I need to be better. But I don't think that it was just like right off the bat you stopped just doing everything.
It wasn't like a, give me 6 months to a year and let me work on this. It was still fast.
You made that decision. You did
once
make
I made that decision,
it
was like, that's it. Like, and like I was saying, it was because I loved you, and it made me want to be a better person. And that was the middle ground for us. Like, you seen what type of a man I could be, and I gave into it, and I bought into it, and it was like, okay, you know what, I want to be this person for her, because I really do think that she's special, and she's definitely worth making this life change for.
Aww.
I mean, I don't know about now, but you were back then. Now I got to deal with it, but no, so seriously though, she is. But I mean, I really think it's important to have the same beliefs as your spouse. Like, and even if it's not with religion as the foundation. I mean, there could be couples out there who just maybe one or the other doesn't believe in drinking alcohol, one is sober, or one doesn't smoke. That can be your beliefs. Someone can be like
your values.
Things that you value. I don't as an example, someone say, I don't believe that you need to drink to go out and have a good time. They can still be the life of the party sober, but your spouse is like, nah, I need to get drunk so I can turn up. And you know what I'm saying, you guys butt heads all the time because you got your sober,
you're not on the same page.
You got your sober husband and wife going out here, trying to keep up with you, and you out here just knocking them back. And then you know what I'm saying, you start doing crazy stuff, stumbling and fumbling, and now they're trying to follow you around and make sure you don't do something crazy, get you in the car, get you home. Eventually that's gonna get old, and they ain't gonna want to deal with that no more. They're gonna be like, I can't with you. I'm not a babysitter, So you either need to stop or I'm gone. And then it's like, that's when you get that head scratching moment. Like, do I want to lose my wife or my husband, or do I want to, get my life together?
And I think that it really just boils down to like being on the same page.
Got to be on the same page.
You know what I mean? Like communication. Here we go. We love communication, guys. But it really boils down to just like being on the same page, even when it comes to like us parenting and our values and our beliefs when it comes to parenting. Like, that can you know what I mean? That can be something too. Obviously, we're Christians. We're in a Christian home, so we believe the Bible. Like, we follow the Bible, and it talks about, not being unequally yoked, meaning that you need to be on the same page as the person that you are coexisting with. So if you're not on the same page, you're going to find yourself constantly butting heads. And as a married couple, you're going to butt heads sometimes. Like, it's just a part of being married. You're blending two people together as one. So there's always going to be some type of butting heads. But when you're not on the same page, I feel like even more, like you're just adding to that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's really what
that's your input.
Yeah, I think that's my input on that. How long do you think that it really took for us to get on the same page? Because I feel like even after, like, you turned your life around and everything, and we got married, still in the beginning, I feel like we butted heads because we really weren't on the same, we didn't still have some of the same beliefs as, you know, in every, you know what I mean, in every category of our lives, I guess. Like obviously, okay, we went to church together, we were both involved in the church, you know, we both believed in God, but in certain aspects of our life, I feel like we didn't value the same thing, and we didn't have the same beliefs in certain areas, and that caused us to butt heads.
Yeah. And I guess I'll throw myself under the bus and tell on myself. I don't even know if I should say this, man.
What are you about to say?
I mean, it's how we seen something different, and it was like, oh shoot, you know what I'm saying?
Don't say it.
Don't say it,
because I think I know what you're gonna say. Is it gonna go into one of our other topics that we might talk about later?
Probably.
Okay, well, let's not say it, but let's just say there was a topic that we were not on the same page on.
Yeah.
Right. I seen
it differently than what you've seen it. And okay, I won't get into it. Well, I guess to answer the question, it did take a while. It took a while for us to get on the same page, even though we were, you know, doing the church thing like we should have been, but that was like the outside, you know, what people can see. But on the inside, behind closed doors, we hadn't had that conversation. Yeah. And we were butting heads. There was still a lot of stuff that we didn't see eye to eye on. Yeah. Or I thought this is the way that it should be, and you thought no, this is the way it should be. And this is an example I can use because we already talked about communication. Okay. So you thought that, you know, if I'm leaving work, or, you know, if I'm somewhere and we're not together, that I, you know, it should be to where I informed you, like, you know, I'm on my way, you know, I'm leaving, I'm on my way, you know, I'll be there in such and such time. I felt like, why do I need to call you to tell you I'm on my way? Like, yeah, I'm an adult, like, you know, I get off work at this time and I'm on my way. And for the longest, I would fight that. Like, I'm not about to call you and tell you that I'm on my way. Like, you know, I'm coming home. Right. And I just did not see it. Like, there's no reason for me to call you and tell you I'm on my way. Like, you want me to call you like I'm a child and be like, hey, I'm just calling to let you know I'm on my way. I'll be there in like 20 minutes. When you know I'll be there in 20 minutes. That just for the longest is like, I couldn't get with that. Yeah. But.
And I don't think it's a right or wrong. Like, we're not trying to tell you, like, if
you don't have
to do it. But I think it's just because we believed two different things when it came to that. Yeah. And I think it came to us like being on the same page about that and coming to like a medium with it. Because like, you don't tell me every time you know what I mean? No. You don't do that. But I feel like now that we're on the same page with that, we know when we need to really like adjust ourselves for the next person. Like when I need to adjust myself for you, and then vice versa, because we're on the same page now. We have the same, like, we know what each other values. We know what we value in our marriage, so we know how to work around that. Right?
Wrong.
Okay.
No, you're right. You're right. But that example right there, that took a while for me to finally be like, hey, I'm on my way home. I'll be there in a little bit. And now it's just like, you know, it's nothing now. Like, you know, I'm on my way home, or even in a situation where it's like, you know, what took you so long to get here? Like, oh, I had to go stop at the store. Why couldn't you just call and tell me you had to go and stop? You know, because you don't realize that your spouse is waiting for you to come home. And, you know, typically your husband or your wife is going to know, you know, if he's off at 9:30, he shouldn't, or she shouldn't, you know, be here no later than 10:15, you know, depending on where you work, how far it takes. But, you know, after a while, it's like when you come straight home, you're here before 10:15. So, you know, it's 10:45. Yeah. You know,
and I think that breaks down to really, like, being on the same page when it comes to accountability. You know what I mean? Like, how accountable do you feel like you should be to one another? Because some couples don't, you know, like sometimes we're like, I feel like we hang around other couples and we just be like, what?
Yeah, just be looking like
that's
dang,
how
y'all get on like that? Are you just gonna look? You just gonna,
but
oh
yeah, it's just
Okay.
it's yeah. Sometimes we get around other couples and we be like, that's okay. They do things different,
Hey, don't
but
be trying to figure out who we talking about. Okay, we ain't talking about you specifically. If you think it is, you know, we just talking. This is a podcast. This is what you do. Okay. Hey, don't leave no comments talking about
yeah, Tate.
who you talking about. Was you talking about me? No, he wasn't talking about you. Hey, matter of fact, while we on this topic and leaving comments, make sure you guys like and subscribe our
Yes,
video.
like and subscribe.
I think the button is going to be on top of my head. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave comments below.
Yeah.
If you have something that you struggle with that you want us to talk about. Now, I'm not saying we're professionals and we're doctors, but we have been through a lot at our young age in our marriage.
We can give you our perspective.
We can give
on
you
it.
our perspective on what we think. Let us know if you have some topics. Follow us on Instagram. we_still_D0. So the O is a 0 in the Instagram. Let us know what you guys think. Okay.
Thank you for that little plug.
Yeah, I had
that
to.
was a nice segue into it.
Yeah.
But what was it? Oh, like, I think that it doesn't mean that because we like see another couple and how they work together that's different from us, it doesn't mean that it's wrong, but sometimes it just makes me realize like how, like, here we are, like we're here, but I feel like it took us a long time to get there.
It did.
For a long time we was just like not, you know.
Yeah, we were missing for a long
Now
time.
we're
missing.
We're here. So, and even
I'm glad we
sometimes
are.
still, I think we do kind of get off like, what are you talking about? Or I assume this, or I assume that. But I think now we recognize it like faster. You know what I mean? So we're able to like nip it in the bud like immediately. But it breaks down to us having the same values and the same like belief system, like in its core. But did you answer my question when I said how long do you feel like it took us to really get there?
I didn't say an actual time. I just said it took a while. It did take a while. I mean,
it took a while.
I really couldn't say, you know, exactly how long it took, but it did take a while for us to really get on the same page. And it was, in my opinion, I would say it was like steps, because step one was me stopping smoking and drinking. Step 2 was me going to church, and then getting involved in the church, and then the next step came to where we needed to get on the same page with like the communication, and then it was just step by step, one thing after another, and then once it clicked, it was like magic.
Yeah,
it was like, man, and that's where we are right now in our marriage. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah,
it's fun all the time.
We're like kind of coasting right now. You know what I mean? Like, we're kind of on autopilot, which is kind of scary because it's like, what's about to happen?
Ain't nothing about to happen.
What's about to?
I got my guards up. Ain't nothing about to happen. The devil is a lie. Ain't nothing coming up in here messing with what we got. Shoot, we coasting like you said.
Okay, but
Don't be trying to speak that.
I'm not.
Throw it that way. Over there. I'm throwing towards our toilet. Okay, it's that way.
Okay,
Flush that.
And I don't want you guys to be listening to this and feel like Deontay is like the only one who had to make changes or who had to adjust. I feel like yours was more like external.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, you had to make some internal
but
changes.
I had to make a lot of internal changes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, talk about them.
it is a two-way street.
Talk about them.
Okay.
You already talked about last week in episode 2 how you had to stop saying you need to do this.
Yeah. And
you
that
need to do this.
Yes, because I have just a natural kind of
bossy.
Okay, we can use that word. Bossy mentality. If I know that something needs to get done, I'm just like, okay, this is what you need to do. Like, just do it. But I had to learn to kind of shift my words and make them, and my actions too, and make them in a way that is like received well, so that we are like actually talking to each other, and I'm just not talking at you and you're like, okay, and then you still end up doing what you want to do because you're not really listening to me.
Right.
You just let me get it out, and then you're like, I really don't care at the end of the day. So it was a lot of, I feel like, more internal things that I needed to do and to work on. And for you, it was a little bit more, I feel like, obvious stuff.
Yeah. So
I think people always look at us and they're like a question I get a lot is, how did you get Deontay to change? And I'm always like, I didn't get Deontay to do anything. Like, I didn't put a gun to his head. Like,
yeah, because people know how
this
it was,
is what
too.
you need to do to, I didn't. I think that a lot of it came out of your love for me. I think a lot of it came out of you building a relationship with God.
And that pill you put in my drink.
And
oh my goodness. I can't resist.
You can't. I know it's hard.
12 years later, I'm still on whatever it was, y'all.
Really? Really?
No, yeah, it was definitely the love that I have for you. You were special.
Thank you. I was special?
Yeah, you were special. That went away. After when we hit 10 years, that was done. No, you still special.
Yeah, do you have anything else to add to beliefs? Do you want to share like what some of our beliefs are? I mean, I said that, we're Christians. We believe the Bible. We believe in, not being unequally yoked. We believe that, we believe in communication.
We believe in
communication.
Sitting down and actually going over things, and not, we will not be that couple who goes out and, you do your thing and I do mine, and then we meet in the middle and it's like, well, why didn't you mention this, or why didn't you mention that? Like, we go over everything at the beginning of the month, and this is what we believe. You don't have to do it, but it really does help. We sit down with the calendar, we do our budget,
we do our planning,
everything, what needs to be paid on what day, because I'm 100% sure, and this is not throwing shade at any other couples, but I'm sure that there are couples out there who the husband will spend money, and the wife would spend money, and then be looking at each other like, how come this bill didn't get paid, or why are the cell phones in risk of being turned off? Like, I need my phone, or why is the internet not working? Like, oh, I thought you paid it. Yeah. No, I thought you paid it. Like, no, I mean, I had to go get them J's that came out last Saturday.
And it's not just with like money too. Like, yeah, we sit down every month and we do our budget, but we also go over. Yeah, it is. We also go over like our calendar and stuff. Like, what are you doing this week, or what what do we have planned out for the month, or like, we always do our money together, our planning together for work. Like, if my work schedule is changing, I'll go over it with Deontay. Like, we always, every aspect of our lives are like connected. Yeah. So there's no room for like any shady or gray areas. Yeah.
There's no. I didn't know about that. You didn't tell me.
Right. So
everything
I think
is known.
That is a part of our strong beliefs and our values as well, and that's why we work hard at staying on the same page. Yeah. It's not like we just like are, because we've been together for so long, we just automatically, okay, we're on the same page. Like, we work at it every week, every month, every year, whenever every day. We'll do a yearly.
We strongly believe in honesty too. That's a strong belief. Like,
that is a strong belief.
Being honest, whether it hurts or not.
That's my. Yeah. I hate when my kids tell like little white lies. Like, I'd rather you just tell me that you broke something, and then, okay, we'll talk about that. But if you lie to me about breaking something and I find out you did it, you gonna be in so much more trouble. Yeah.
That was something that
So that was
that we dealt with
Yes.
in the beginning too.
Yeah.
I would not just come out and just say whatever it was for whatever reason. It was like, nope, no, I didn't. Then later on, be like, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said no. So I don't know. I don't know what I mean. Even still, it's like I can't even say like, yeah, this is why. It's like, I guess it's a thing where it's like the first thing that pop in your head is nope.
Nope. Yeah. Yeah. This is like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Instantly. Nope. Be right in plain sight. Did you just eat my? Nope. Where did it go? I don't know.
You got crumbs on your mouth.
Like, I don't know where it went. I mean, you sure you didn't eat it? Like, I just walked by you and I seen you just like brushing crumbs off your fingers. Like you was just doing this. Like you didn't eat it. Like, and then it'll go from, well, I didn't eat it. I mean, I took a bite of it. I don't know what happened to the rest. Like, come on now, just say all of it. Just say you ate it.
Yeah.
But little stupid things like that.
Yeah.
But I do believe that, you know, to have a successful relationship, you guys do have to be on the same page. You do have to have the same beliefs. You know, you guys should really sit down, talk about, you know, you'd be surprised with communication, but you'd be surprised on how far you can go when you guys sit there and talk about, you know, the two things that you guys believe in, and then you bring them together and then you make them blend together. Because it's not like you have to be over here and then he or she has to be over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to stand over here with my beliefs and I'm going to stand over here with mine. And then whoever can hold the longest, that's what we going to go with. You can't do it like that.
Yeah.
That ain't going to work. Because then, you know what I'm saying? Y'all be standing over here just arguing and cussing each other out.
Right.
Still right here trying to be married. And then, you know, putting on the front when you go before your family and your friends, acting like you cool. But then as soon as you get home, you know, now, I hope this ain't anybody that's listening, but you know, you go home and then she or he sleeping in the room and you sleeping on the couch,
Right.
You know, in the same house. Yeah, that can't be it. You know, y'all got to sit down, you got to talk about the beliefs, and y'all got to get on the same page. I mean, if you are a young couple and you're wondering, you know, why is it that, you know, we keep butting heads? You need to look in the mirror and see if you guys have the same values, the same beliefs, and you need to go from there, because that's a core part of marriage. You know, I mean, we hitting on them. Communication is key, and then the same values and the same beliefs. Yeah, you know, and not getting nowhere without it, because the communication, that's period. That's with any age, any couple, whether you married or not. Right. Even if, you know what I'm saying, y'all best friends. That's with any relationship. You gotta communicate.
Period. Whether you friends, sisters, mother, daughter, like you
gotta have communication.
Yeah, you have to.
If you don't have it, things are gonna be all shaky.
Yeah. And I think too that having a spiritual belief system together is important. You know what I mean? Like you have to. I feel like our spirituality and our faith, like when we don't know what else to do, you know what I mean, and we don't know where else, like we just like, okay, we talked it out, we still not on the same page, you know what I mean, okay, I need to pray about it. That's what it comes down to. You know what, you go, you pray, I'm gonna go pray, we praying about the same thing, but we just need to be in our own little separate prayer closets and then come back together, and we always end up on the same page. And it doesn't with this podcast. With the podcast, like you was gun-ho, you like, this is something that we need to do. Like I feel like it's gonna reach people, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be recorded. I don't want to like.
It took her forever. Like I was like all like sold out, like looking up stuff and seeing what all I needed to do to get this thing started. Okay. And she's just like, okay. I just need to pray about it. And I'm talking to everybody else, and everybody's like, yeah, that'd be a good idea. I'm like, see? They said it'd be a good idea. They said it'll be. She said, he said, okay, well, I need to pray about it. I'm like, well, did you pray? Because I prayed about it. And I'm ready to do it. And then
and I did it. That was the thing.
See?
I kept saying, I need to pray about it, and I didn't do it. And once I did, that's when we came together on the same page. So for us, our spirituality and our faith, in God, it gets us through like
everything.
Yeah, just everything. The hard times, the good times, the whatever. That's what our success is from.
Yeah, because I was getting to the point where I was about to be like, forget it then. I guess we ain't gonna do the podcast.
Yeah.
And then you finally said yeah, and I was like, cool, because that fire wasn't all the way gone yet. Because you know me, I'm always into something. Like, there's always something that I got going. And I was about to start moving on to the next thing, but luckily you prayed and the good Lord said do it, which I knew he was gonna say, but I couldn't push you, and you did it. And here we are. You guys are finally getting to witness. We could have been on probably like episode 10 by now.
Okay, relax, we're here now.
We're here.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Goodness gracious.
All right. On that note, do you have anything else you need to add? About beliefs?
I'm just trying to reiterate how important it is to make sure you guys have the same beliefs, the same values. It don't have to be, y'all both going to church or y'all both, being sober. But, whatever it is, have the same beliefs.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I think
doesn't matter what it is.
You gotta really talk about it to figure out, because you might not even know.
Yeah, you might not know. I feel
like we didn't know that we was not on the same page.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We didn't know that we didn't know that we weren't on the same page until we actually started talking about it.
Yeah. We had that conversation.
You have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you might think that you're on the same page,
and you're not.
And you wondering why you keep going back and forth about the same stuff. You're not. Somebody doesn't believe what the other person is believing. Mm-hmm. Whether it's with your finances, your trust, your whatever it is. Somebody, one of the two people, you're thinking one thing, he's thinking something else. And you guys think that you're thinking the same thing, but you're not. So, I just want to encourage you guys to have that talk with your spouse.
Please.
Figure out what it is that is really, like stopping you from moving to that next level in your marriage, or stopping you from really, being like on the same page about everything in your life, because you are two people who are joining yourselves together. So the two is now becoming the one. So you need to be on that one page together.
With family too.
Yeah, with family. We're going to talk about that on another day.
Yeah, that's deep right there.
We'll talk about that on another day.
Okay. We got plenty of days, I guess, huh?
We got plenty of days. Yes.
Don't need to cover it all.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil all of our other topics with just this one topic.
Okay.
But I feel like everything can just flow into, you know what I mean, the same stuff. But do you have anything else to add on the belief part of it, or are you good?
I believe you better get the handshake right at the end.
I believe I will.
I believe if you don't, you're going to be cut out this podcast, and I'm going to be doing it by myself. I'm going to be sitting here with 2 mics. I believe that.
I believe you're done. Thank you.
There with that bossiness. There it goes. I brought it out. Y'all seen it. All right. Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us for episode 3 of the podcast that we got going here. Titled what? We Still Do. I'm Deontay, and this is my wife,
Maymuna.
You better say it right. And we still do. But like I said, subscribe, like. If you subscribe, you'll know when we, update something. We also are streaming on Castbox. Castbox is an app you can download, Apple Store, Google Play. And if you don't want to watch the video, or if you, don't want to be distracted while you're driving, download the Castbox app, search We Still Do. You'll see our picture, and you can listen to it that way. That's it.
That's it. We appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you guys very much. Everybody who's joined us on this journey. Thank you very much. You know what? I feel like we should kind of explain this really quick.
The
Because
words.
the words. I mean, people probably look at that like, you're the desert sand, I'll be your water. That is, if you guys don't know, from the song Daily, and how do you say her name? Marsha? I don't know how to say the last name.
Ambrosia.
Something like that, from Flowetry. The song they have called Alone Together, that was our song for our 10-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And we really rock with that song.
I love that song.
We love that song. That's my ringtone for her when she calls me. And we feel like that. You know, we would rather be alone together. And I'm her desert sand, and she's my water.
Yep.
Gotta have the two. So, now you guys know what that is. Stay tuned. Oh, you know what? We gotta find our next topic.
Oh yeah.
Get the bowl. Get the bowl. We got the bowl
today, guys.
Yeah, we're not gonna go off a list. We have a bowl with different topics. So we're gonna start swishing it around. Pull one out.
You want to take one? Because I did it last week.
Yeah, let me do it. Let me do it. Swish it. Let me not look.
They're folded.
Don't matter. If I'm looking, I can kind of see.
Okay.
All right, I got.
What is it?
The first fart. Becoming comfortable.
That'll be a good one.
Your first fart in front of your significant other. When was it? How was it? Was it wet? Was it loud? Was it silent? Did it stink? Did you try to sneak it? Act like it was somebody else? Oh my God, this one gonna be bomb. Y'all about to see me act up on this one. All right, we're gonna hit the intro. We're gonna hit the outro. I'm sorry. We're gonna hit the outro. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good week. Have a good week.
Funny.